Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to go through this book called Success is for You from Dr. David Hawkins. Now, this is an absolutely cracking book. And the reason why it is because Dr. Hawkins has a very interesting take. He's a medical doctor, and then he went and specialized in psychiatry, so mental illness, and then he had a spiritual epiphany. So his understanding of the way the mind works, the way the body works, is actually quite profound. So in this instance, Dr. Hawkins, he goes over the fact that success is really boiled down into 5 different things. The first one is, do you love what you do or love what you do? So it's really, really simple. So success can be boiled down is loving what you're doing. Now, you think about your family, you think about your sports, you think about your job. Do you love doing it? Are you in love with it? And if you are, fantastic, keep going. If you're not, there's room for improvement. The second thing is once you've identified what you love, throw yourself into it wholeheartedly. Do it as well as you possibly can and do it to the best of your ability is one of the things that Hawkins says. Number 3, continue to be eager to learn. Throw yourself into different books and different courses and be the best version of yourself you possibly can be. So if that's being in a relationship, it's love being in that relationship with the person. It's throw yourself into the relationship as much as you possibly can, and then be eager to learn. Look at the different responses that you're having with that other person and see if they're being effective or not. Now, if we think about our job, love what you do, ideally, and then throw yourself into it. Learn as much as you possibly can. Now, number 4, the 4th step is share what you've learned. So that's the purpose of me doing this channel, is all these books and information and courses and knowledge. It's about sharing it as much as I possibly can. What's the point in having this information if you can't share? Because when you share, step number 5 is both you grow and I grow. So recapping those steps: 1, love what you do. 2, throw yourself into it. Do it to the best of your ability. 3, be eager to learn. Learn as much as you can from as many different sources to enrich your life. 4, share it with as many people as you possibly can. And 5, their success will encourage you to share more. And ultimately, we want them to teach as well. So they're the 5 different reasons of what success are or is. And then Hawkins then goes on to explain within this beautiful book the 9 different steps in order to have a successful life. What does it actually mean? So then step number 1, he says, use, what is your intention? So before you start any project, it's like, what's your intention? What's your goal? What would you love to have happen with this, from this, through this? So what's your intention in this relationship? What's your intention on this trip? What's your intention? So for example, I've got a trip coming up and the intention is, yes, to have a great time, but it's also to connect with like-minded individuals and to see how I can help them and they can help me. So it's a win-win scenario. I'm not just going in it to see what I can get from it. The whole idea of this is, how can I share and how can I enrich your life and vice versa? So what's your intention? It's always great to start with a higher vibration intention. So the more love we have, the more love we share, the better our life and everyone else's life is involved. If it's all about what I can get from this scenario, it's a completely different intention with it. Another thing we need to look at, step number 2, is what do you enjoy? Like, what we want to do. So whatever it is that we want to do you enjoy it? So then all of a sudden it goes back into the success. What is success? And it's like, love it. Because when you're working, you're a long time in that job. So wouldn't it be easier to serve people when you're in love with what you're doing? And when you're in a relationship, wouldn't it be so much easier just to love the other person and to be grateful for who they are so that they can blossom within this environment? Number 3, is it needed? So if we look specifically for business success, is the job, is the business that I'm about to open up, is it actually needed? Is it required? because there's no point setting up a business if it's not actually required by other people. So then what's the intention? Excuse me. What's the intention? Do we enjoy it? And 3, is it actually required by other people? Then once we've identified that, yes, it is required, what we need to do is we need to get all the senses involved. So we've got 5 major senses as a human. Sight is the major one. So more often than not, we're very, very visual people. Then we've got hearing, smell, taste, and touch. So yes, we're very kinesthetic people and we love to be touched, but we're very, very visual people as well. So ultimately, what we want to do is that if and when we open a shop or we're in a relationship or anything at all that we want to be successful with, get all the senses involved. Use visualization to think about the future that we'd like to create. Feel how it feels while we're visualizing it. Or if we've opened a shop and we've got something there, does it smell good? Does it feel good? Is it pleasant to the eye when we're there? Now, are we coming from our heart? This is a huge one. Now, there's a great little saying, and it's like success is in the heart, and then money and profit is in the head. So ultimately, the more we're in our heart, the more success we'll actually have. So are we coming from the heart? Does this resonate with the heart? And when we are, it makes it so much easier for us to learn, to grow, to share, to evolve as a person within a business context, also within a relationship context. Then also what we want to do is we want to provide a safe place for people to come to. Because when we're coming from the heart, people's defenses are dropped, and then they know that they can count on us. And quite often, like with the world that we live in, where we're super connected with people, but we're not connected from a heart perspective. So that's where we want to have heartfelt relationships. And then realistically, we also want to identify with the fact that there's only really one true customer in the world, and that's human nature. So yes, identify your niche, and yes, we want to make sure that we be as specific as we possibly can. But ultimately, we're here to serve as many different people as we possibly can and to enrich their lives. And the more we can enrich their lives, the more they will enrich our lives. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy that, give and you shall receive. And then step number 8, decide on the quality. Because as soon as we start going down the path of, she'll be right, or that'll do, then the quality becomes diminished, our intention changes, and then we'll just cut corners. So in the book, Hawkins says that you could sell yesterday's bread or donuts at the same price as today's, but ultimately the quality changes. And if the quality changes, then people will be able to pick it up. People will be able to feel that. And then number 9, never forget the way to success is to share it with others. So it's like there's no point being on the top of Success Mountain when you're the only one there. So the greatest way to share your success and the greatest way to be successful is literally to share it with as many people as you possibly can. Overall, I'd absolutely recommend this book. It's super easy to read, super easy to understand. And the whole premise of it is that success is actually instantaneous. The moment you decide that you're successful, it's literally your destiny. It's literally guaranteed. Just whether it happens or not is due to your desire to actually make it happen. So this is where the whole goal with growing a plant. You have the seeds, you have the soil, you plant it in there. So it's like you don't have to keep worrying about it and obsessing over it. Like the actual conditions and the growing will take care of itself. You've already done the work, you've already planted the seed, and just allow it to manifest in whatever way it does. And that's exactly the same as a goal. So when you have a goal, when you decide to be successful, it's already been planted. So we don't have to keep going on about it, obsessing about it. All we need to do is just have the faith and the trust that it will manifest. But the decision starts in here, not out there. So grab it. I'll put the link to Veritas where you can get it from. Have a great day and stay tuned to the next video.